So we're going to be using this page for the basis of today's webinar. As always, this account, it's completely made up. The names don't exist, the data doesn't exist, it is completely made up. Also, any questions that you've got for us as we're working our way through, you'll notice that there is a Q&A button on your taskbar. You'll be able to click on that, type in a question, and it will ping up onto my screen, and I'll be able to answer that straight away for you. We do obviously have the chat box, but just be aware that doesn't sort of appear on my screen, so I might not get around to that as quickly as I would the Q&A tile. Okie dokie, so here we are on the student's homepage. Now, one of the most important things that you may or may not know is that EducationCity offers 24-hour access, and that is for both students and teachers. What that means is 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, students can log into their EducationCity account and use the resources. What it also means is if we head into classwork and homework, if you decide to give them a summer learning folder, some bits and bobs you want them to work through over the summer, they will be able to access this throughout their holiday. And you can see here I've just popped a few bits in for English, maths and science just there. Some bits about telling the time, times tables and poetry up there for English. And I put a little note in as well, some summer learning ideas. Have a great summer, Miss B. For my students, I was always called Miss B, hence the bumblebee. So you can pop that together. Students will have it there. They can log in, they can work their way through that. But in terms of parental engagement, obviously parents will see this as well, and it gives them that sort of insight as to what it is you want to cover with their children. So if I was a parent, I could ask my child to log in. We could head into the home learning, summer learning folder, and we can have a bit of a browse through just there to see what it is that we're working on. Let's say we're working on times tables, for instance. You can work through those, asking children to recite times tables, having that kind of engagement. It does also mean that you can head anywhere in the search icons just here, and you can search for timetable resources or telling the time resources, or even things for investigation and inquiry, like creating projects, things like that. So if I head into the subjects area, this appears exactly the same as on a teacher login. And again, this is something that you can pass on to parents because it's so easy to find resources for their children. Head into the subject area, choose the year group or the level, find a tool, and there it is. You've got all of the resources there, and they can even filter down via the specific resource. So if we're looking at investigation, for example, there we go. Loads of things there that children can be working on over the summer holidays, keeping fit investigation. There's nice weather, that is perfect. Even things like just there, the sun and the moon, maybe looking at the moon every night, looking at the shape of the moon and how that alters and how that tells us whereabouts the moon is in relation to us and the planet Earth. So this is all sort of engaging parents in engaging their children. And obviously there's a lot of resources there, a lot of things that can keep them busy. I do love a good project. It's been known, I do love a good project. I think it's a great way of empowering students. So again, parental engagement, they can log on here, they can find something that is related to their child's project. Let's go, for example, multiplication, and you've got those resources there. Maybe they're doing what like a multiplication pattern or something, looking at those resources. There we go. And it isn't just those filters you can search for individual things as well. Like if your child wants to know how to tell the time, they can search for that. If your child wants to know the difference in seasons, you can search for that. So this is a great tool that makes sure parents are aware of, because they can support their children in searching for the areas that they're interested in, as well as sort of those individual gaps. While we are here, I do want to show you, you've obviously got all of the resources on the homepage just here as well. And children do have access to that avatar. They can change how they're feeling. It's quite fun, isn't it? A lot of fun just there. And obviously you can use that home button to head back to the homepage at any point. Just checking so far, see if we've got any questions. Don't forget, I really do love to hear your questions, so type them in if you've got any. Excellent. Okay, so as a teacher as well, parental engagement, I don't know about you, but when I was teaching, one thing parents always wanted to know were their scores in maybe assessments or tests that you've administered, and also how they can help their children sort of further their learning. This is already done for you. You've got your scores just here. Any assessments that have been completed. There we go, such as the multiplication tables check. You've got the latest score, and you could always challenge your child a bit and say, right, if you get 70% on that, I will get you a certificate. We do have some downloadable certificates that you can use on the EducationCity website. Just head to educationcity.com. You can see there's loads of resources, holiday packs there as well. This one's a great one. Let me show you this. If you are looking for to set a challenge for your students, this is a 30-day summer challenge. So good. Some great things on there about looking for reading your favorite book, or a geometric hunt. That sounds fun. I like that. I might do that myself. But you will also find some certificates that you can obviously print off for your students, or that you can pass on to parents to give to their children there as well. So any activities and assessments you will find here. And what you can also do is, we just head back over here. There we go. You've got that best score. They can play a game. They can beat that best score. So again, getting that engagement there as well. Talking about beating each other. Not physically, obviously, but we do have our games. Don't forget about our games. Our Play Live game is fantastic. Kids absolutely love it, and it is available in all academic year groups. Popping games just there. Here it is, just here, and you've got the 4 different ones: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, each for every year group. So from F1 to year 6, obviously in England, in Scotland, it will be that age range, and so on and so forth. But these are more than one player games. So maybe get mums and dads to sign into the iPad or the tablet, have children on the computer and competing against each other in these fun games. And if they don't want to do that, we've always got our old school whack-a-mole games there as well. You've got to splat the correct answer. If you splat an incorrect answer, you do lose points. But there's loads of games available for you across English and math. So do have a look at those as well. And obviously pass that information across to parents to try and get them engaged. The last tile I want to show you is the revision tile just here. I'm going to check really quickly to see if we've got any questions. No, we're all okay at the moment. So we've got our revision tile. Any assessments or activities that are done are obviously marked, but all of our formative and end of year assessments will also produce these revision journals. So great as a teacher, A, you're not going to mark it, B, it will recognise gaps in learning, and it will pop resources in here so that children can independently work on their gaps. Again, this is something they can do at home independently, click revise and work their way through. Best bit, parents can see this as well. So when they say to you, but what can I do with my child to fill these gaps or to work on their attainment? Direct them here. It's got the information just here. And a lot of the time, if you click onto one of the resources, it will even have the objective that they are working towards. There we go. So lots of tools in there. Obviously, as a teacher, we can set these bundles of work via the MyCities on the teacher login pages. But you don't have to. You could always direct your children to a project or an investigation over the summer holidays. You could always ask them just to write, I don't know, a poem about their favourite day, something along those lines. But the benefit of having EducationCity at home is it's ready-made for students. They can come in here, they can do their revision, they can have a look at their scores, they can practice what they want to practice. And it's got that parental link. It's got that engagement from parents because they can see any scores that their child or children have had in recent assessments or in recent activities, and they can work on them with them, even down to activities doing at home. Counting out pennies, 2p pieces at a time, kept practicing 2 times tables, or 10 pence pieces at a time, practicing 10 times tables. Baking a cake, looking at the recipe, reading the recipe. You've got reading ticked off there as well as those calculations available. So there's lots and lots of resources there. And again, just to remind you, if you head into educationcity.com, we've got our free resources and downloadables just there. And there's loads of resources that you will find. Lots of things that you can have a look through and obviously give to parents if you think it's going to be valuable to them. There we are. Have we got any questions, guys? How are we doing with that? Just having a look to see if we've got any typed in. While we're waiting, I just wanted to let you know, if your school uses Marvelous Me to support your students and parental engagement, you can now issue EducationCity badges. How cool is that? Being able to have an EducationCity badge for completing something of your best ability or for bettering yourself in a score. That's so, so good, so, so valuable in both education and obviously self-confidence, building up confidence of children now. Can't see any questions, guys, but that is not a problem. We've got our email address here if you can think of any in the future. That's customerservice@educationcity.com, customerservice@educationcity.com. Send us any questions, queries, or any feedback that you'd like to share with us. We really do love to hear from you. And that website, again, just there for you, www.educationcity.com. I do hope you found this valuable. Like I said, 15th of June, we have our Summer Engagement for Parents webinar. Tell all the children to tell their parents to sign up for it. You can do that again via the website, www.educationcity.com. And if I don't see you at future webinars this term, I hope you have a lovely summer. Try and relax a little bit, and I'll see you in the new year. Take care. Bye-bye.